Adventure on Pipeman on W4CY Radio.
Wake up, America! It's time for the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY.com, West Palm Beach's #1 internet radio station. Here's your host, the Pipeman.
This is the Pipeman here on the Adventures of Pipeman, W4CY Radio, and here we are once again with the Positively Pipeman segment with our pet health guru, who gives you all your health advice for you and your pets. And so today, we're going to talk about something that I don't think is fun, UTIs. And like now, I'm thinking about that, Bill, and basically I know I get UTIs. I know other humans get UTIs. It makes sense that pets would get UTIs, but I don't know much about it. So why do so many pets have UTIs?
The plain and simple answer is poison. Basically, obviously, if you get a UTI, it's at the bottom of the chain of events that has to happen in the body whenever we inhale anything, whenever we eat anything, whenever we drink anything. The body's a miraculous machine in the fact that it keeps us from it actually works for us to keep us alive. Yeah. I mean, I know that that's a kind of foreign dimension, if you will, to the medical community, but yeah, the body actually does it by itself. We don't need medical intervention all the time. When we inhale, drink, eat anything that is toxic, let's just say you just painted your bedroom and you breathe in all that nice smell. It really smells like kind of weird, but you inhale all those vapors in and they're in your lungs, and then they're going to go from your lungs to get out of the body. In the process, when you wake up the next day, of course, first off you painted and then you slept in a room breathing in all those vapors. You wake up in the morning and your head is totally stuffy. You're blowing your nose, you're coughing, you're hacking, all of that. And what do? We go into the shower, we turn it on extra hot, and all that steam starts to break up that mucus that was formed to wall off the poison, to keep us alive. So we're able to do that, but our pets aren't. They don't go into the shower, and they can't spit the stuff up very easily. Normally, we end up seeing their expulsion of it through eating or drinking water. They'll drink it, eat their first meal. They take their first, 2-3 mouthfuls. And the next thing you know, you got projectile vomit coming out. And everybody's like, oh, my dog's dying. No, it's trying to get rid of that mucus. It has to break it up. And it's got to have a transport system to do that. Now, in the case of our dogs and sometimes our cats, they will turn around and reconsume that because there's nothing wrong with the food. It was just breaking up that mucus membrane that was there so that they can get rid of it. Now, all that stuff is going into the stomach, and unfortunately, it goes through the digestive tract, especially where if it's formed lower in the digestive tract. Now we end up with some other problems coming up. Number one, that mucus starts to plug up the liver. Now the liver is only working at 60, 50, maybe 40% functionality. Liver's got to do a lot of things besides also filtering. It's got to make hormones, enzymes, and all kinds of other biochemicals so that we can survive. So now we've got a restriction there. And of course, then it goes downstream into the kidney. And then it goes down into the bladder and, of course, into the urinary tract. Now,
and that's where the fun starts.
It's exactly right. The interesting part of that is along that way, if that mucus sticks to that filter, if you will, it can calcify. Now we have stones. Now almost nobody hears about liver stones. Gallbladder maybe, kidney stones definitely, urinary stones not as well. That calcification, that's what causes the problems. Now, why don't we have a problem with liver stones? Because that's going out our butt. That exit is like going through the Holland Tunnel, as opposed to going through into the kidney, a water pipe. So,
I was going to say the Passaic River sewage system.
yes, exactly. So that's why those liver stones are not as much of a problem. But when it gets into the kidneys, anybody's gone through a kidney stone problem, it can be very, very painful. I mean, it's
Been there a few times. I have one big one in my kidney right now that hasn't moved in years, so they just leave it there. But let me tell you something. I just have a question for you. Why are kidney stones formed into what appear to be like Chinese star weapons?
That's a good question. Actually, it's just the way they happen to form it, because it is a crystal. When you look at a piece of quartz, I mean, that's a crystal, okay? Weird shapes, sharp edges, all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, you're absolutely right. Now, in your case, of course, the fact that it's been there for a while, I don't know why we're not dissolving it, because there's different herbs and botanicals that we can use for that along the way. Now, when they get into, obviously, the bladder and the stones and that sort of thing, of course, those can be problematic too. However, if it's only the mucus part, the body's actually doing its job, keeping it fluid, because we're drinking enough water. I think that's an important thing. And flushing out the system, and it's got to be good water on top of that. But flushing it out of the system, it's not a problem. But when that mucus gets into that urinary tract, it stops. It plugs it up. And when that happens, basically, that's a UTI.
Is that when I have to stick my finger up my dog's butt?
No, not his butt. That's constipation. That's something totally different. But anyway, but that mucus is just restricting and causing all kinds of irritation. It's an irritation. And the interesting part about that is when you go to the doctor, hospital, the ER, you go to the vet hospital, whatever, they automatically put you on antibiotics. Now, the truth of the matter is in UTIs, 90+% have no bacteria in it at all. The urine is sterile. Okay, there's no infection, so it's mislabeled to start with. It is basically a blockage, and not a complete blockage, but a semi-blockage. And so now we throw in antibiotics that now destroy the gut, have all kinds of side effects that have now entered into this whole fray, if you will. And if it's stuck there for a while, again, they can calcify just like they do in the kidneys and the stomach and all of that. But it's interesting because the whole way of removing it is flushing the system. Again, good water, clean water, ionized water when you can. But then there's also a lot of different herbs and botanicals that assist in that by basically what it does. People are probably not aware of what are known as surfactants, which are parts of plants, basically, that break water tension. And they use that technology a lot in soaps and shampoos and things of this nature. And instead of using an abrasive, like in a shampoo, instead of using an abrasive compound to scrub the skin or the hair or whatever you're doing, surfactants basically make water wetter. So if you put a drop of water on your counter, you notice it's a bubble. You've got surface tension there. If I put a drop of surfactant onto it, it breaks that surface tension, and that little drop will cover an area maybe 3, 4, 5 inches, because there's no tension on it anymore. It can just spread. And what that actually does, those surfactants do, and this is how the herbs work, it actually gets underneath, because the water is wetter. What you've drank and it's going through your urine is now got surfactants and literally lifts the mucus off. And it generally normally with what I see in the store with both people and with animals, 3 to 4 days it's gone. No drugs at all.
Wow.
It's just about using the right things. And even if it develops into stones, things like there's an herb from Ecuador called stonebreaker. We use dandelion root powder. The same thing. This dissolves the stones. a natural way of doing it. So we don't have to suffer with a UTI. And of course, we can prevent it. Hey, you know, if once a week you have dandelion tea or cranberry tea or something of that nature, guess what? You'll never get it. But on the other side, we have to keep getting away from those chemicals that we're putting in our body one way or another. Now, you know, I hate to disappoint people, but chemtrails are real. You know, they do put chemicals into our body that we're breathing in, we have no control over. You know, that mask that you're wearing, you think that's saving you? No. So,
well, it's definitely not saving you if you're wearing it in the car alone with the windows closed.
Unless you got bad gas.
Well, that may be true. Yeah, there might be a lot of carbon monoxide coming out of your butt.
Exactly. But, you know, we're exposed to things that we have no idea. I've done several podcasts on the Pet Health Cafe where we talk about the problem with toxins is 95% of them that we're exposed to are invisible. We don't even know they're there. It's in the food. It's in the water. It's in the air. You know, it's outgassing from your furniture, your walls, your flooring. You know, you walk down the street and, you know, your neighbors have all, you know, done the Roundup and the, you know, bombs and that sort of thing to get rid of weeds, and we're breathing that all in. And of course, it's also, you know, you have this nice little garden in your yard, and your neighbor sprayed with Roundup, and of course, it's now in your yard and in your vegetables that you think are so clean. So we're always being bombarded with it. So the whole way of avoiding that, like I said, you can use things like the cranberry tea and the dandelion tea and things of that nature, but is doing an ongoing detox with natural foods. Herbs are natural foods. They're not supplements. They're not medicine. They are ancient foods that will clean out your body on a daily basis. You know, it drives me nuts. I get clients coming in the door all the time. Bill, I don't know what to do. What do you mean you don't know what to do? Well, I just finished a 2-month detox program with my doctor, my, you know, naturopath or my functional doctor, and now I don't know what to do. It's like, what should I do? I said, don't stop, but I got a better way of doing it in your food. You're eating the cleansing stuff. Basically, you're eating Ajax, as you will, but in a natural form that's not going to kill you. You got to clean out that
kids today do eat Tide Pods, so that's not a far stretch.
I know, but that's just it. I mean, stop and think. We're drinking chlorinated water. Chlorine killed how many people did they kill when that chlorine plant broke down in India a couple decades ago?
Oh.
You know, it's, you know, we keep doing this stuff to our body. We have to clean it out.
Yeah.
And, you know, and you can do, simple detox. It's spices, basically, what we would consider spices. Things like turmeric, milk thistle, dandelion root, as I mentioned before, astragalus, and angelica root. All these things are all natural things that are, again, and I mentioned the cure for that disease, by the way, UTIs, is also great grandmom's chicken soup. And all those herbs.
The answer. Jewish penicillin, always the answer.
Yeah. But when she made it, she never made it the same way twice, because whatever herbs and botanicals she added to it were endemic to what problem was going on. You know, so that we had it. You know, we had the right things going in and cleansing out our body. And there's probably nothing better than good bone broth to start with. I mean, that's going to, number one, it's hydrating. Number two, the other component on that is the mineralization. We need minerals in a usable form. We look at how our foods are raised. I was watching something this morning, and it's like, okay, in agriculture, they're using 3 minerals to fertilize our crop. We need 90. Why do they ignore the other, 87? You know, if we're lucky, they might add the 4th mineral, which is manganese in some cases, but that's it. We're being led down a road of ill health. And like I said, if you consider what I do for UTIs, just some simple herbs, clears it out 2-3 days, 4 days tops. And then you look at what the medical community does with poisons. not only does it take several weeks of treatment, obviously at a high expense, but we also just created 14 more problems.
Yeah, totally. And I have a new name for UTIs, more appropriate name.
Okay.
The urinary trash infection. Because of all
it
the
is.
trash you're putting in your body.
Actually, I will take it another step. It's not an infection. It's an impaction.
There you go.
Because it's not an infection. You're not infected.
So there you go. So we can now call it a urethra trash impaction.
There you go.
And nobody can really say that. That's why they call it. That's why they call it a urinary tract infection.
Exactly. So,
all right, tell everybody how they can reach out to you, get some more pet health guru advice. Check out your podcast. Check out my Paleo Pet, all that good stuff.
Yeah, mypaleopet.com, our web store for the store, the physical store, My Paleo Pet in Pompano Beach, Florida. You can call over there, 954-971-2500. And the team over there can help you out with it. Actually, BioComplete, our other sponsor of my podcast, our manufacturing end of it, our processing part of it, actually makes a urinary herbal blend that it's one of our top sellers because there's no drugs, no chemicals, nothing. It's all pure herbs. It's going to take care of that problem. You can do it as a as a preventive, every now and then, just to make sure your system's cleaned out, add it to your food, however you want to do it. And of course, for that advice, you can either do a consultation with me. I'm always available through my Paleo Pet. And you can also listen to all of that and actually watch it on Pet Health Cafe, my podcast with the Pet Health Guru, which is me. Like I say, we've been doing this a long, long time. It's 18th season of it. Before this was even popular, podcasts weren't even out there yet. This was internet radio, but that information has been out there where you've now spent all this time suffering in pain with UTIs and other ailments, when the solution is right there when you tune into all of our programming, both here on the Pet Health Cafe and of course on our associated stations on this platform. And we're all here to help, and that's what it is. We're giving you basically a whole consultation on a free show. You can't do any better than that, can you, Dean?
No, you definitely can't, and that's the key. You can't even get consultation from somebody that has brains like you for free.
Thank you. So
there it is. Well, once again, you rock. You're helping us. You're helping our pets, and that's all that matters. Everybody stay tuned. We will be giving away some festival tickets. So we got some commercials we're going to run of the festivals we're doing, like Incarceration, Welcome to Rockville, Sonic Temple. And then we're going to go into our business segment with our resident expert, Michael Barbarita, from Powerful Business Strategies and Next Step CFO. So stay tuned. We will be right back.
Incarceration, America's rock, metal, and tattoo festival returns this summer with Limp Bizkit, Disturbed, Bad Omens, plus Gojira, Papa Roach, A Day to Remember, Motionless in White, Ice Nine Kills, Cypress Hill, The Used, and so many more. Incarceration at the Ohio State Reformatory, July 17th to 19th. Passes on sale now at incarceration.com. The Sonic Temple Art and Music Festival returns May 14th through 17th with My Chemical Romance, Tool, Bring Me the Horizon, and Shinedown. Plus, Pierce the Veil, Good Charlotte, The Offspring, Sublime, Godsmack, Breaking Benjamin, Marilyn Manson, and so many more. Sonic Temple in Columbus, Ohio, May 14th to 17th. Passes on sale now for as low as $1 down at sonictemplefestival.com. Welcome to Rockville. Returns to Daytona International Speedway, May 7th through 10th with Foo Fighters, My Chemical Romance, Guns N' Roses, and Bring Me the Horizon. Plus, Turnstile, Five Finger Death Punch, The Offspring, Breaking Benjamin, A Day to Remember, Godsmack, and so many more. Welcome to Rockville, May 7th through 10th. Passes on sale now for as low as $1 down at welcometorockville.com.
This is the Pipeman here on the Adventures of Pipeman W4CY Radio with our Positively Pipeman segment, powerful business strategies with our Next Step CFO, Michael Barbarita. How are you?
Fantastic. How you doing, Dean?
I'm doing great. What I want to know is it really you or is it AI with me today?
You never know. You never know. I'm gonna keep it a mystery.
I like it. I like it. So tell us about using AI in your business.
I will, but I just want to inject something that I found out very recently. There is an AI app. I think it's called notebooklm.net or .ai or .com. I can't remember the exact website, but you could Google Notebook LM, and it actually will allow you to have a third party verification. So what that means is that you can have two people talking in very clear language, very polished language, talking about how great you are. So it's two people. You have to program it. And when I say program it, you have to feed it the information. But what it'll do, it'll start conversations with two people, and they will be endorsing you. For example, they'll just say one person will say, and it could be a male and a female, it could be two females, it could be two males. One person would say, like Michael Barbarita says, the conversion formula is the best way to attract new business. And they'll go into it, and it's so amazing because it's a third party verification. I mean, there's going to be a point in time where we never know what's real and what's not. If
already there,
right? If we're already not already there. But anyway, yeah. So today I want to talk about something that I use on a daily basis, and that is Claude. Now, there's ChatGPT. I'm sure it's great. I happen to use Claude because I utilize what's called Project Knowledge, which I consider to be the brain of Claude, not the entire brain. Obviously, Claude has vast knowledge, everything that's on the internet. But in terms of giving it a focus, I utilize Claude. And what I do is I put in Project Knowledge things like my book. I put a customer avatar in Project Knowledge. I put in all the information about my company, what it's about, where I'd like to go, what direction I'd like to take. I also ask, once I put all that information in, by the way, I also have what's called a copywriting Bible that I put into Project Knowledge, which is the best copywriters in the world with their styles. And what I do also is I ask Claude, give me I do 5 questions at a time. So I just keep asking it. Give me 5 questions of how you could be better supportive to Next Step CFO. And so he tells me those questions. I answer them. I put it in Project Knowledge. Later, I ask 5 more questions. I answer them. I ask for 5 more questions. He gives them to me. I answer them. I put them in Project Knowledge. So I'm constantly training the robot. Mm-hmm. And over time, whatever you want it to do, doesn't matter what it is, it references that Project Knowledge, and it really is very intelligent about your business, about your style, about your customer, about your strategies that you'd like to implement. And so I think it's a tremendous tool, an absolutely tremendous tool. And it's not just for marketing content. It helps me with business analysis for my clients. It helps me with their relating a strategy to their situation, because it has all this knowledge that I've given it and I've trained it on. And so it's been just a sensational tool, and I hate to lose it now that I got it. But these are things that can help save a tremendous amount of time. I would have to say that Claude saves me a minimum of 2 to 3 hours a day with all the analysis.
And what is it that you like better about Claude compared to Gemini, compared to ChatGPT, compared to all the other ones that are out there?
Yeah. I don't think you could ride the wrong horse, but you might. Okay. But I don't think you could ride the wrong horse. I did not do a lot of analysis. I did some analysis on ChatGPT. Claude came out with Project Knowledge before ChatGPT did. And so because of that, and then my ability to train the robot through Project Knowledge, I just chose Claude. It doesn't mean that Notebook.lm isn't better, or Gemini isn't better, or ChatGPT isn't better. Maybe it is. But I know that I trained my robot for my business, and that's why I use Claude. And that ability to do that through Project Knowledge was the key point for me.
So I have another AI question. I find that most of the people really using AI right now are the people you would least expect. They're the non-techie people. What's your opinion? Yeah, what's your opinion on that? It's like, I think it's because the non-techie people are relying on the AI for the technology expertise. So it's easy to them. Where somebody like me that's a techie, it's funny when I use AI, I realize that I have to proofread stuff.
Oh yeah, it hallucinates. It hallucinates.
Yeah. Most of the non-techies, they don't even proofread. I've seen it. Like I see when they produce something AI, I'm like, did you not proofread it? You know? And so what do you think what's the best advice you could give businesses about using AI in that respect of what I was just referring to?
Right. Well, first of all, AI hallucinates. It's called hallucination. I think that's the technical term for it, because it will make you greater or build up the particular topic that you have greater than what reality really is.
Yeah.
And so you definitely have to proofread it. But I have also discovered what you discovered, that less technical people are jumping in, almost like it's a way for them to get technical.
That's what I'm thinking.
It is. And what's critical, though, and what a lot of people miss out on with respect to the quality of AI is the prompt. The prompt is absolutely essential to get right. And so when I make a prompt, it's very specific all the time. Very, very specific, because I want the best answer, or I want the best product for the output. And so my prompts have been 700-800 to 1,000 words long, just to make sure it's specific to what I want. And what people do is they treat it like Google. They treat it like Google, Dean.
Yeah.
Where they put 1 or 2 words or a long keyword into something, and that's not enough.
That's what's important right there, what you said. You have to be very specific, because just like another human, the AI can't read your mind.
Right.
Okay. You need to give the exact specifics if you're going to get the right answer, and you can't do it like halfway, because then you're going to maybe get the wrong answer.
Exactly. And that's what I've found that I found where AI turns people off are the people who don't know really how to prepare the proper prompt. Yeah. That's where people say, "Oh, it's terrible. It's vague, or it's it's not something that I can rely on." Okay, and it's because all AI will give you an answer every time. You can just put the word, jump off a lake, and it'll give you an answer. Jump into a lake, and it'll give you the answer. So it gives you an answer every time, but it's your job to give the proper prompt and a specific one.
And to your point, okay, if I'm driving down the road and I ask Siri a question while I'm driving down the road,
yeah,
Siri will ask me if I want to use ChatGPT to answer it. And almost every time I say no, because the times I've said yes, it wasn't enough information for ChatGPT to give a proper answer. In fact, there were times where it gave the answer. I'm like, that isn't even relative to what I just asked Siri.
Right. Right.
So, and then if I ask Siri, she just gives me the Google answer if I don't use the ChatGPT. And that's usually more relevant and better.
More accurate. Yeah. More accurate.
Yeah. And it's because of what you're saying, in my opinion.
Yeah. The prompt is so critical. And so if you play around, if you're lazy, you're going to get lousy results, because you're going to be really specific and almost draw a map for AI to get the best answer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Even the AI needs all the information. It's like when
Right.
you talk to another human being and you don't give them the whole story, they can't give you proper advice.
Right. That's exactly right. It's the same thing, except what you're dealing with is a brilliant mind,
Right.
Which is the big advantage, and it's such a great advantage to be able to take advantage of that brilliant mind by being very specific.
There it is. Be specific with your AI. You heard it here from Michael Barbarita, Next Step CFO, right here on the Adventures of Pipeman, Positively Pipeman segment. How do people reach out to you for real? Not the AI you, but the you real.
Well, one thing they could do is they could go to my website, nextstepcfo.net, and download my book, Powerful Business Strategies, for free, which will be in PDF form, which they could put in Project Knowledge of AI, probably get a condensed version of what it's about. And if they like it, they could utilize it as strategies for their own business and reference it with specific prompts. So that's one thing. The other thing is I'm giving away a free template that will help them develop their position of market dominance, which is the captivate, which is the problem this customer has they don't want. The solution is the fascinate, the second part of the conversion formula, which is the solution they want they can't find. And this template will help you develop that position of market dominance. So all you do is you go to nextstepcfo.net/contact, go to the contact page, fill out the form, the contact form, and in the space provided, the message box, just put PMD, position of market dominance, PMD.
All right.
That's it.
Thanks again, Michael Barbarita, and thanks for being on the Adventures of Pipeman.
Thanks for having me, Dave.
Thank you for listening to the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY Radio.